Thanks for visiting the patient and the weather today. I'm meteorologist Al Peterlin, and this is a weather report. We keep additional graphics at tpatw.com. We're also available and have a storefront on Amazon. Looking at the surface weather pattern for Friday, we have two fronts once again, one stretching all the way from northern Idaho, all the way down toward really Omaha, and then back up to Minneapolis to a little bubble low up over the lakes. And more significantly, we have another bubble low, basically about Denver, stretching all the way through Oklahoma City, across northern Louisiana, across northern Mississippi, Alabama, all the way to the east to Raleigh and off the coast. And we're keeping a whole mess of soggy weather across the southern plains and across the south, including Florida. And what's left of Arthur will be washing out. And of course, they just don't need that much more rain down there in the southeast. Looking at our vitality index, which is that measure of where weather changes will have an impact on human health, and you'll notice we have a little bit going on here in northern California across into southern Idaho. We have some kind of spotty activity going on in the lower portions of the Four Corners. The most activity is happening right here in Texas up to the Texas Panhandle and across the southeast. Looking at pressure change, you'll see that we have rising pressure from Texas across into Missouri, picking up most of the Tennessee Valley, the Ohio Valley, and the Great Lakes, and stretching all the way through the upper middle Atlantic states into New England, not quite making its way into Maine. Looking at temperature changes, and of course we're really pushing to the heart of summer here now, and we do have only one really intense area of interest, and it's typical. It's about the Texas Panhandle, where we have falling temperatures here on the portions of North Texas and rising temperatures across the Panhandle. And I'm always interested in that dividing line, or where there's a significant change in activity from high to cold. Looking at dew point temperature change, again, it's rather interesting as we have rising dew point temperatures up here in the Pacific Northwest, a little bit down here in East Texas, but falling dew point temperatures here across Arizona. The look and changing in vapor pressure, a little more significant as we can see that we have the rising vapor pressure here up the southern plains, and we have falling behind that frontal system that we described hanging across the basically the central portion of the country. Looking at instability, we're sort of calming down through much of the country, but remaining significant here across Texas and Louisiana and right along the Gulf, and it could just be the washout, the remnants of what's left of what was Arthur. The change in oxygen availability is far more complex for Friday. We have migraine stresses across Oregon, Northern California, actually all the way down through the central portions of California, and a touch here making its way into Nevada. Just some minor migraine risk here in Arizona. But we have a very significant risk of migraine across most of Texas, all the way across Oklahoma, across northern Louisiana into Arkansas, then jumping into western Tennessee, all of Kentucky, and then spreading all the way across the middle Atlantic states from the Carolinas, all the way up through Pennsylvania, New York, and making its way into New England except for Maine. We also have a risk of migraine across central Iowa into northern Illinois, much of Wisconsin, and the upper reaches of Michigan. Also have a little migraine risk here in North Dakota. Looking to asthma and arthritis risk, it becomes significant here across Idaho, especially southern Idaho. We're picking up very significant across the Texas Panhandle into northern Oklahoma and even the stretches of western Kansas. We also have asthma and arthritis here from the Florida Panhandle across southern Alabama and most of Georgia, and then of course jumping up to Maine. Thanks for visiting the patient and the weather. Your comments are appreciated, and if you hurt, tell us where you're located.